Jungle Gorillas, this is Real Talk Republic podcast all the way from Kiafrika Studios. During by-elections, kuna vitu zingine zili happen in the regions zenye by-elections zilikuwa zina take place. There are some politicians upcoming, when you see big fish, wali decide ku... Bro, if you took money and did not vote for this guy, people suffered. And much more about the by-elections, Gen Z politics, and IEBC. This is a serious issue that we must discuss always. And that's why today I'm being joined by a friend and a colleague from the days in high school until the current life. That is Evans Magoa. Bro, welcome to Real Talk Republic podcast, Baba.
Thank you, Manze. I'm happy to be here.
But what's the problem? You took politicians' money.
Napana. I'm just cool.
They're following you out.
Tunagopa nini? Inchi ni yetu, Manze.
By the way, Magoa is all the way from Coast. Coast is not your hometown. I'm ulizaliwa Coast, bro.
Just grew up in Mombasa.
Okay. But where are you from?
I'm from Siaya.
Dango. Yeah.
I'm from Siaya.
Bro, you followed up on the by-elections, vitu zilikuwa zina happen, on how politicians walikuwa wamejiplan from all the regions. Tukiangalia Wamudhendes, we are focusing on the western side of Nyanza. Yeah. Western side of Nyanza, that is not even western side of Nyanza, in Nyanza, western part of Kenya. Kulikuwa na Ugunja, kulikuwa na by-election, kulikuwa na Malava, kulikuwa na by-election, and then kulikuwa na wapi kule? Kasipul kulikuwa na by-election. Ulifollow zote?
Yeah, naweza sema actually where I come from, Ugunja, you are having by-elections for the MP. Yeah, I followed up closely on that one. And also Kasipul was everywhere. Everything happening in Kasipul was on the headlines because it was not just about Kasipul.
Yeah.
That was a national contest.
Very true.
Yeah, it was not about Kasipul actually. It was more of ODM trying to prove that they still are having grounds. And no matter whatever is happening about the Gen Z and stuff, actually they had to bring in a Gen Z for that post because they're considerate of everything that has been happening. But the funny thing is that they brought up Boyd saying he was a Gen Z, but the people who were surrounding Boyd were not Gen Zs. So I don't think to any point they were considering Gen Z's views or Gen Z's interest.
Yeah, Gen Zs, they say maybe Boyd ought to understand that the Gen Zs are yet to register for...
Yeah,
so, and also wanasema kwamba kitu ambaye mzee anaweza ona kikaa chini, kijana hawezi ona hata kipanda mti, au sio? So maybe that's the reason why Boyd needed these guys. I don't know. But to be honest, it was a national contest where ODM wanted to show the government that we are still in control. Why? Because ukiangalia the closest opponent to Boyd ambaye alikuwa Aroko.
Yeah.
Alikuwa na supportiwa na machinery ya gava, the PS for interior, all the UDA affiliates walikuwa kwa Aroko. And at the beginning it was confusing. Mwisho ndo tuliona machineries za gava wakijoin Aroko, because mwanzo we saw fire see fire, we saw this guy from the majority leader, Kimani Ichung'wah, campaigning for Boyd Were. And we congratulate Boyd on this, the first Gen Z to parliament. What do you think of Gen Z's getting ready for 2027?
Okay, I don't think it should be a matter of Gen Z's going into politics. I think it should be us having a plan of how we are getting into politics and how we are going to make our lives better. Because you see, when you just put it out there that we want Gen Zs to get in the government, there are people who are having even selfish interests among the Gen Z who will get in there and they'll continue doing what the other politicians have been doing over the years. Yeah. So it was not more of a Gen Z thing. It was just the government versus ODM. And the last minute is when we saw the governments trying to support Aroko. Initially, it was Aroko versus ODM.
Yes.
Yeah, even if I was in Kasipul, I would have voted for Aroko.
Bro,
I would have voted for Aroko. Yeah, because everybody wanted a change.
Yeah.
The fact that you were seeing Boyd Were with Gladys Wanga and all the ODM staff, I think some people wanted a new change. Yeah, we wanted somebody who is very sober, somebody who will get in there.
Wait, bro, Boyd is sober. Is Boyd not sober, bro? Unasema nini?
Sober in terms of what?
He's young.
Did you see how he was campaigning? Even there was a video of him. It was like he's crying, he's trying to beg people.
Sympathy.
Yeah.
Do we say Boyd alishinda because of the sympathy?
Because of sympathy, people did not want. And then another card that they were pulling on the people of Kasipul was that don't disappoint Baba.
Yeah.
And the moment you tell somebody from Luo Nyanza don't disappoint Baba,
yeah.
and it's been less than a month that Baba passed, it's very difficult for you to vote for somebody against Baba. It's very difficult. So you just have to vote for Boyd.
So there is two cards that favored.
Favored Boyd. He was a Gen Z. Another thing was that the fact that he was in ODM and Baba had passed, we didn't want to now say that Baba just passed less than a month ago and ODM has already been defeated in one of its constituencies.
At the beginning of this podcast, I brought a friend and a guest who have been to ODM. That is Victor Marende. Marende told me that they are going to put Sifuna, the Secretary General of ODM, into a test to see if they can win a by-election in Kasipul. But I said Kasipul was the zone ya ODM, so it was not a test for Sifuna. Sikujua kwamba it's going to be so competitive. And correct akaniambia, bro, he said, bro, you just wait na utaona. Sikuona Sifuna though, but I saw whatever happened. Hapa ndo tuliona Wanga trying to show off, I am the kingpin, the queen pin. And also umeona hizo was zimekuwa kwa social medias, the keyboard warriors wakipambana about Gladys Wanga and Raymond Omolo, who should be who is fighting who, and who is controlling whatever the case. Umeziona, right?
Yeah.
This is also vitu zenye zimerise baadaye, but it said ODM Wanga is trying to use these aspects to blackmail government, because it was alleged alikuwa na demand PS aniniwe afutwe. Aya bro, tukiwa bado Kasipul, do you know Manibior?
Yeah, I know Manibior.
You know Manibior?
Yeah.
What do you know about him?
And he's filthy rich.
Filthy rich.
Yeah, and I know he caned some of. he caned some. How
kulikuwa na he post from Kenya Times that said there is a politician at beginning. It was in People's Corridor of People Daily. So alikuwa nasema there is a politician in Luo Nyanza who called his supporters for a feast, but ended up caning them.
I don't know, but if I was Manibior, I would have done the same.
Why?
I think you see what has been happening in politics is that when you want to vie for a seat, you'll automatically get people who will support you. But as long as you'll be giving handouts to them, they're not there freely. Even people who want to vote for you will just come out and be like they're supporting you for the case, because when it's going to mark the ballot paper, it's everybody, nobody watches at you. Yeah. So the fact that they took his money and they thought they could just go scot-free. No, man. They just had to pay.
Evans to understand kwamba tukiingia kwa politics ni vita ya kuishi na kufa na kupona. Ni kufa na kupona kweli? Si kufa na kupona, but tujue kwamba kuna losses. Na is there a way tunaweza fanya politics without money? Is there a way that we cannot, we can stop bribing people with the incentives? Kama t-shirt ama mchele back in Luo Nyanza, sometimes back in 2013 I used to see walikuwa napewa gorogoro ya mahindi or unga so that they can be voted.
I think even in the US, They use money to vote.
Yes.
But their case is different because people get sponsored. People come up with fundraiser. They get funded for their campaigns. In Kenya here, it's the other way. Somebody goes for the money and now comes for the seat. They go and maybe steal money wherever they're stealing it from. They come give you. And the first thing they do when they get into power is take back the money from where before they consider helping you as constituents, or before they even try to set up development. They start setting up like development projects. They have to get their money back.
I must be honest with you, because we shared a same class in high school when we were studying geography. Maybe you can't remember, but there is this geography teacher who advised us, if you get 30 million, you can vie for MP. After being voted, you're going to get those money back. You remember the teacher?
Yeah.
So this is what the politicians are trying to innuit themselves into. And ukiongea about fundraisers na mtu kukuja out na kupatia watu support for that, umeona imeanza kuhappen, na hii culture inakuja tu kwa watu, kwa emergency. Aju uliona ule boys alikuwa na vie for senator in Baringo, but hakuwa serious. You know why hakuwa serious? Yeni competitor ana compete against the government, the UDA candidate, and still anaenda state house. Bro, this is the Gen Z that we need to change Kenya, right? I mean, si vibaya kwenda state house na minister of finance, that is John Mbadi, alisema Kenyans should have that normality ya kwenda state house, but the contribution, so money bior caned watu juu alikula pesa yao.
Yeah.
Na hiyo pesa ilirudishwa after kuchapa watu.
Actually, let me tell you this. I was following up on a podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast ya Mwafrika. Yeah, Iko Nini podcast. And he was trying to chambua how the Money Bureau case happened. And it's alleged that he's also having like corruption scandals back in the US.
Yeah.
Which are most likely the sources of his money. Yeah. But again, if he came those people, I think that was the best thing to do for those people. I think that should be a lesson to anybody who wants to lie to a politician that you can make it. We need to change that narrative. Not anybody can win an election seat because you have money. I think we need to go ahead and start like scrutinizing these people. Is he well of a person that can manage the constituency or the county? Is he learned? Yeah, like does he have like records of corruption? Such cases. Yeah. But if the only criteria that you use of choosing people is your party or the amount of money you have, I think we're just going to go back to the same shit.
Do you see, like in 2027, we are not going to choose people regardless we are going to choose a good leader regardless of a political party where they are from?
Well, that's a difficult question, because another thing is we've been saying Gen Zs have the highest number of votes come next year. Yeah. So if you all take the tukichukua kura, everybody, I think we can easily change that. Yeah, we can decide on the people on the sober people to vote for. But if we don't take our voting cards and voting equipments, the old generations, the people who have been receiving handouts, are the ones who will still go and vote and put those leaders, because it should be us against them. Yeah, it will be hard for us to convince the old generations to vote for new people who want to give them money. Over these years, they have been used to people giving them money. They've been used to going to campaigns and receiving handouts. Yeah. But as Gen Zs, if you think that is wrong, if you think that should not happen, we should take our votes and go vote for people who we think are sober. Let those people who want to vote for people who are giving them handouts, vote for them. Because it's something hard. You cannot go convince somebody who has slept hungry 3 days to vote for somebody who has not given you anything.
I mean, you just give us money, then we vote for the person that we want to lead us. What happened in Ugunja?
Ugunja.
There is something beneath. Iko chini ya maji. People are focused in Kasipul and not in Ugunja, and also in Malava. What happened, Bwana?
In Ugunja, the person who won is called Moses.
Omondi.
Moses, yeah. And Moses was working in the CDF, actually.
Oh.
In Wandai's office.
He was the manager?
I think. But I'm not sure if he was the manager, but I know he was in the CDF office. He had a high rank in the CDF office of Ugunja. So after Wandai went out, it was just somebody to replace him, and everything that has been going on in ODM was continuity. There was nothing like a new blood or something. So I don't think the people of Ugunja should be hoping for anything new in terms of politics or development or anything, because this guy he's here to finish Wandai's legacy, finish all the projects that Wandai maybe was into.
I had a chat with the Zaibi.
Yeah.
Know him? He was also a candidate.
For?
He was alishindwa kwa nomination ya ODM. This ujui Zaibi? Zaidi this guy mwenye akona the white hair engineer. Okay, juu mjui, so will not sitakuuliza swali kumuhusu. Kama boys anaendeleza na vitu, kwani Opiyo Wandayi alikuwa na intentions fiti for the people of Gunja. It's just like telling people of Kasipul that you need Boyd kumaliza hii kazi ya babake. So maybe that's how Opiyo pia convinced the people of Gunja, your people, that you need the money to complete whatever I'm having.
Yeah. Yes, it's okay if you're going out, it's okay to bring somebody who will continue the legacy. If people trust you, you bring somebody who you'll convince the people to vote for. If people like you, if you've been doing good for the people of Ugunja, then if you bring somebody else and tell people vote for this person, he'll continue my legacy. That's okay. But that should not be our grounds for vetting politicians. We should be going and see how much was allocated for the CDF, how much was used, how much was laundered. Yeah, those should be the basics for people to vet politicians, not just because you have a party and you've won there are nominations for ODM by then Ugunja.
Yes.
But we knew whoever was going to win. It was Moses.
Automatic.
Yeah. The party nominations are just like a formality. But I think the owners of the party already know the person who they really want. And I think even to get out, even Babu Owino, I think that's one of the fights they're having. In a party, if the moment you have been selected by a party, you have won an election by a party, I think before even you make your decision, I think the party dictates you whatever to do first. You cannot do anything that goes against the party. Yeah. So if you vote for somebody through ODM, just know he'll go on with ODM's legacy. He'll continue doing everything that ODM have been dictating over the time. Nothing new to expect.
Umeongelea kama jenzi, umeongelea something to do with scrutinizing the CDF funds kwa constituency level. Umekuwa na interest ya kuangalia jinsi yenye hizi pesa work out kwa hizi ofisi? For me, I've been having the interest whenever I'm back home. I do attend hizi baraza and point out. Sometimes unapatanga like in a school allocation imefanyika twice and the result kenye mehappen hapo ni something yenye unaona iko less than whatever they read out. Hii imekuwa ikahappen in my constituency, or if you know my constituency, I can't mention, but we are but we are leading the budget committee of the Republic of Kenya in the National Assembly. That's my MP. But unapatanga like allocation may happen twice, or they double the allocation, but the service that is provided in that place is below the money. So umezungumzia about Ugunja and the CDF. Kulikuwa na former Prime Minister Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga alikuwa anasema CDF zitoke kwa constituencies zipeleke kwa counties. You know, you are from that home. You are from mashinani, so rural counties. Can that even work out with the government that we have right now?
I think some politicians have mastered the art of, when there is a problem, instead of solving the problem, they solve another problem related to it. They don't solve the main problem. Like for the case of the CDF and stuff, what does the CDF money do? Pay school fees. Most of the people who we know have benefited from the CDF as school goers. Yeah. So they should just make education free. Niyo story ya CDF ishe hivyo. Yeah. Hii mambo na inakuja bado sijui ka county fund and stuff, it's being squandered. Just give the money to the Ministry of Education. People to go to school free. We will eliminate a lot of discrepancies in between here. Yeah. But if bado tunataka pesa kuja kwa CDF, then pia chague who is getting the money.
Who is getting the money, bro? For real, I applied for CDF from Form 1 to Form 4. From year 1 till na sikuwa get. But I understand why I did not get. Bro, to come to tackle on IEBC, their service. This is the last part of this discussion of this episode. Let's talk about IEBC registration of the Gen Zs. There is much fault also there. Wanasema Gen Z are not getting out to register, and there is civic education in Nairobi. Because you're not from Nairobi, they're saying some of the registration centers are hidden or long distance, so majenzi hawawezi pata nafasi kufika hapo. I don't know much about Mombasa, and also there is allegation that in Nyanza IBC wako na registration center in a distance difference of 5 kilometers, even more 10 kilometers, but in Nairobi and other parts wame limit. How is that in Mombasa?
I think first thing we need to acknowledge is politicians are smart.
Yes.
Politicians are smart. The whole IBC thing, I think to some point is being controlled by politicians. It's to their interest.
Yeah.
Because if they want to bring the centers for people to register everywhere, hawezi shindwa. Unaona? So they have to make the places distant to discourage people. I heard of some centers watu wanaenda wanaamba sijua kuna steam, I don't know, the machines are not working. So just to demoralize people. Actually, for me, I think this is like it's more of like a chain of events where we want people to take the voters card after they've registered. It should not end here. We want, if you're going to make people take the register for the elections, for register for participating in the elections, you also have to give them a reason that the elections that they will be going to participate in will be fair. Give them that reason, because there's no need of telling people, come and register as voters, but we know the election will still be compromised. It is not something new. It has happened. Ama unaishi Kenya gani? Is there an election unajua imeisha and people are like, that election was great, everything was fair?
It just happened in Africa.
So to Gen Zs, to some point, these are the questions we are having. Yes, they'll be bring stations for us to go and register. But what about the main elections?
Who is to be blamed?
Have they put structures that will make us, like, our votes count? But if that's not there, I don't think.
Ethicon. Yesterday, last week, Ethicon spoke in one of the television and in one of the podcast. Kenya kasema, in Kenya, rigging an election is very impossible, or maybe close to impossibility. You said that. Na wewe unasema people are not registering because they're afraid the result of 2027 is already compromised or shall be compromised. Underline shall.
Anybody who is telling us that rigging elections in Kenya is impossible and cannot happen, you should tell us how has elections been rigged initially. It has been very possible for the political class. Some of us may not understand how complex it is, but we know it has been happening over the years. So whoever is coming to tell us that elections cannot be stolen, you should also tell us why has it been stolen before? Which loopholes has the government at the moment sealed that is guaranteeing us not for the elections to be stolen in the next years? So kama unatuambia ati elections are impossible, hizo tu ni stories za jaba manze. Wewe tuambie tu what has the government done to stop. Even in Raila's burial, somebody, Orengo, mentioned of Raila's votes having been stolen over the years. It's normal in Kenya. I think people are not surprised, but it will be surprising this time if whoever is trying to rig elections, because
umeleta story ya Raila, nikakumbuka story fulani nilisoma kwa Daily Nation where this guy alikuwa anasledge like in 2017. Raila have been winning election but negotiating. Man, I don't know. But it is there on the public domain whereby this writer says Raila have been winning elections but giving out the winning. Like anasema me ibeni hiyo kura.
Can I tell you something?
Ibeni hiyo kura nishinde.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I think after Raila died, I think anybody who is to come out and tell us anything about Raila should just come with the proof. Because people are just coming out a lot of nonsense. Oh, this Raila said this. Even if Raila's elections, you remember when in 2022, after elections were stolen, how are they called? There was this group of were they part of the commissioners
Yes.
who met at Serena?
Yes.
And they went to tell Kenyans that the elections have been rigged.
Yes. Yes.
So there were Kenyans who had voted for the other party. Ruto.
Kina the deputy chairperson wa IBC
Yeah. I don't know how.
alikuwa mcost formerly alikuwa na Wakanda government ya
Yeah.
Mombasa.
Yeah. So when they came out and said that the elections were fair, I don't know what Trevor Chebukati did. There was a section of Kenya which they were like, no, the elections have been okay. You guys are just maybe bringing up your shit.
Yes.
So you need to understand that those people now, at these now in coming elections, the next coming elections, they're at a position of their votes being stolen, and they're now afraid it might now haunt them.
Yeah.
So you find out like ODM now, we are now on the softer side now of the government, where
you're a member of you're a member of ODM because you are speaking ODM now. We are.
Where I come from is just ODM. Man.
So you are ODM by blood.
Until somebody comes up with a new political party that will sue, millions of people.
Before
I may be a member of ODM, but I may not vote for some specific politicians who are in ODM based on their merits. And I think that's what people should do. Even if you're in a political party and you feel this candidate is not worthy for this position, and there is somebody else contesting with that person, and you think the other person will help you, he'll bring development, why not vote for the other person?
Yeah, that's true. I first switched from ODM before. Currently, I'm partyless, like the Gen Z, So I first switched from ODM to Wiper when a friend of mine, today, people with disability chairperson Wiper, told me, bro, you can be nominated to the National Assembly of Sierra. When I went there, I found all MCAs are from ODM. So Wiper have no MCA in the whole of Nyanza region. So how can I be nominated to the house? I just rendered my application, but hey, finally it got nullified because I was anticipating being the youngest MCA in the county assembly. It's about dream. We are speaking up much about the fact and the preparedness, readiness, and what the Gen Zs have in stock. And the by-election, how it happens in Nyanza. Tumeguzia Kasipul, tumeguzia Ugunja, but ujaniambia kulikuwa na wenye Evans, ujaniambia kulikuwa na wenye walikuwa na pigwa hapa Ugunja if you're not supporting ODM.
Let me tell you something. Odoyo Owidi?
Yes.
I was listening to one of the podcasts after the by-elections ended of Odoyo Owidi, and Odoyo Owidi was saying that people are, first of all, people have a place where they come from. People have like where their blood has been. If you come, like, for example, from Nyanza, you're automatically rooted into ODM.
Yes.
So he was saying that in the coming elections, if people will come out to vie for political seats, or people are going out to vote, those people from Nyanza, to some point, they'll first of all be rooted to ODM.
Yes.
They just won't come out and vote for anybody else.
Yeah.
This is a place they have been for the past over 20 years. Yeah. It's not easy just to get them out of there. So they're also protecting whatever they have worked for the past 20 years. It's not something you can just let it go. We say that Raila was ODM and everything, but there are a lot of people who are running ODM in terms of like the campaigns, in terms of the politics and everything. Yeah. Those people still have their followers. Yeah. So if you're being beaten, you just know you're in the wrong place. But in the coming elections, I think if people will have the space to come up with other political parties and to be accepted in the communities that have had political parties that have ruled for many years, I think it might promise something great.
It's going to promise something because there is a lot of parties that are going to be created before 2027, especially one to tackle on ODM. But for me, from my analysis, I'm seeing DAP becoming a strong political party in the whole of Western Kenya. That is Nyanza and Tawe Nation. DAP. Yeah. If only DAP is going to remain united, because currently they are disunited. This unity between Wamalwa and Natembea, that is a fact.
I think when it's coming out, having an honest conversation on political parties, when you're having an honest conversation on political parties, we have to accept that these political parties have had goons. They have had crazy people. They have had people who have having corruption cases. it will be, for me, I will vote for Natembeya even if he says he wants to be the president tomorrow. I'll vote for Natembeya even without thinking about
Yeah,
it.
you just waste
But
that.
wherever he is at the moment,
Yeah.
if I see him still working with Kina Kalonzo, if I see him still working with the likes of Wamalwa, these are the people who have brought this country to wherever it is at the moment. We just want change. Yeah. And it's not something difficult. Kuna watu wamesoma, we have people who can make better decisions at the parliament and county government. We just need these people to step aside so that other people can come. Because you see people like Kina Wamalwa, people who have been there for many years, and Kina Kalonzo, we don't know their motives.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need people who will be starting with them afresh and having like one main goal in changing this country. But you cannot have the same old people, put them inside our bus that we are headed to the next destination of a better Kenya.
That's sharp of you, bro. This is Real Talk Republic podcast all the way from Kiafrika studio, and this is a regular. Till next time, the next episode, we are still having Evans Magoa. Bro, welcome to Real Talk.
Thank you, Manze.
Django, till next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.